Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Monday. Here we go. Thank you so much for being Up+Adam. Hope you had a great weekend. What a busy weekend. Good luck getting dinner reservations. Dads and Grads weekend had SLO slammed. So nice to have Opa visiting right now, and having him over here for Father's Day was so awesome. I hope you had a great Father's Day, or for whatever reason, if that wasn't a prevalent holiday, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm excited for today's show and part 2 of our Farm Days series. Yeah, we are in the LoBro studios with a bunch of farmers. This is great. I'm back with my friends from the SLO County Farm Trail. Yeah, we're going to go even deeper, talking lavender, olive oil, mushrooms, and the real stuff behind all the pretty packaging. These aren't just products. They are stories. They're struggles. They're heartbeats. You'll even hear the kind of moments that don't usually make it into a brochure, but that's where the gold is. This time around, we get into the good dirt, like how olive oil fraud, that's a real thing. How distilling lavender is basically a science experiment, and why farming mushrooms might be the most meticulous craft in the game. Oh, and we also flip the script on that. We play the farm game. Very similar to the game we created called the wine game. The farm game, it's all too real. It's all too fun. It's going to be a great conversation. Everything I love about these folks and this land and this area, all coming up part 2 with our farmers on Up+Adam. All right, first, this story. I know a lot of news over the weekend, and this is going to be on the lighter side of things, but still, it's an interesting story nonetheless. And if you're single and in the market for a middle-aged guy who is open about his feelings, listen to this. Now, while organizers of this weekend's No Kings protests in LA were concerned with what was happening on the ground, really what was happening in the air high above LA is what went viral. Stu Mundell, who's a helicopter reporter for Fox 11 in LA, odds are you've heard his voice, especially when covering a high-speed chase. He was flying around covering the protests on Saturday when he launched into this long rant about his failed marriage. So he was on a YouTube live stream when he started talking about, quote, bunch of debacles in his personal life. Now he's legally separated, trying to, quote, find himself, how he gets lonely but has cats. Like, whoa. A bunch of sites said that this was a hot mic thing. So they reported the story like this was a hot mic. And he was talking into somebody's ear maybe. But he was actually responding to questions in the YouTube comments. So he knew he was live. People started asking if he was drunk. He said, I do love the bourbon. I love the whiskey. I love the bourbon, love the gin. My goodness. Now, to be clear, nobody actually thinks he was drunk. He's been known in LA for years. He's a consummate professional. He also wasn't the one flying. He had a pilot with him. So he was kind of just having fun with it. Maybe a little too open about his personal life. Listen to this.
You know what? I don't care. I am married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. But I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know. It's hard to believe. I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment. You know, do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats.
Don't even know what possessed him to get like that real, right? Well, nonetheless, good luck, Stu. I'm sure you'll find exactly what you're looking for. What a story, though, huh? Not a hot mic. He knew he was on. All right. I want to get right into our conversation with our farmers. To do that, got to thank our friends here at Pink Drink. We are getting geared up. We are less than a month away. Pink Drink, Saturday, July 12th, Elks Lodge and SLO. Over 30 of the hottest producers in wine, beer, cider, spirits, craft cocktails. Yeah, all poolside, all dressed in pink. Curated bites, a live DJ, past apps, vibes you cannot fake. This is summer served sexy. It is going to be a blast. Bonafide. It all supports the Woods Humane Society, also the Elks National Foundation, so you can party with purpose. It's exclusive, 21 and over. It's priced like it shouldn't be. Grab your tickets. Get to Pink Drank, DRANK, pinkdrank.org.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, back into part 2 of our Farm Days series. If you caught part 1, you know we're just getting warmed up. I've got Lynette Sani from Farmstead Ed still hanging with me. Also, Gina Hambley, Hambley Farms. They are farming lavender. They got a place out there you got to check out. It's just gorgeous. Jennifer Talent, Groves on 41. Talk about a beautiful spot as well. Chris Battle of Mighty Cap Mushrooms just moved into Tin City, celebrated their big grand opening. And these are folks I know and love. And in this episode, we go even deeper. More laughs, more stories, and some surprising truths about what it really takes to grow something with soul right here in SLO. Let's get back into it. What's like the biggest pain in the, I'll ask you first, Gina, the biggest pain in the ass of farming lavender? Is it like the hot days or this or that? So I'm so curious, like the one thing that's really, really just like, oh.
Everything you do is hand done.
Yeah.
So hand harvesting for hours on end, I'd say, is probably the biggest pain. It's just hard on your body.
Is there a part of it that's just like, oh, this is such a blessing. This is almost too easy. Like maybe the fact that it can go in anything, or I mean, is there something about the farming that's almost like, oh, this is awesome. I love this part.
Well, the end product for sure. There's so many things you can do with it, which is really a blessing. But I think even more so coming out to the farm, and one thing people remind us of all the time, being out there and getting out of the car and seeing wide open spaces, and your body just relaxes, and walking through the field,
grounded,
and and just smelling the sweet scent of lavender in the air, and just watching all of the things blowing as the wind breezes through, and just the relaxation and all of that comes with that. Yeah. That almost that meditation piece of being out on the farm.
Yeah, Jennifer, what about you? What's farming olive oil and all that stuff, olives, and then what you're making the olive oil. What is like the biggest like pain in the ass in that?
Oh gosh. You know, it's kind of hard. I want to say the biggest pain is trying to figure out how we can continue to diversify on the farm. And we hit a lot of roadblocks. And that's part of that county, government aspect. That's probably the most difficult. The weather is not always the greatest either. And those little scrawly ground squirrels and all those things. So yeah, there's a few. Farming is just not easy. It is really hard. It's not for everybody. And we came into it, later in life. My mother started this in her 60s, so it's one of those where you gotta know that there's a lot of work to it. But to turn that around to the best part about it is that thirst for knowledge, but that same exact experience that Gina has where people walk in. We drive down our driveways every day and you look at, oh, the weeds need to be pulled. Oh, this, oh, that. Yeah. The minute a stranger who becomes a friend drives on your property and all they can do is smile and say that it's gorgeous, that it's beautiful, that the trees look amazing, the landscape is there, the bees on the flowers and the this and the that. And it's that enrichment that you get when somebody else loves and appreciates it. And then, of course, also that they want to be there. They want to ask questions about your product. They want to know why they want to buy olive oil, why they want to taste something. Why do they want to look at that farm trail map? Why do they want to know? And why do they want to talk to you? And that's probably the most fulfilling because they give you that reenactment that you had when you first planted your first bush or your first tree or whatever it is. It gives you that whole full circle moment.
Yeah, what a thoughtful response. I love that. Chris, tell me, biggest pain in the ass. I know. Huh?
The biggest, so a little pros and cons. Mushroom farming is obviously really hard. It's every day. So we don't have a season. So there's no stopping. We can't stop. We have to do a certain stage of the farming.
Certainly you stop on Christmas.
You can't. Nope. I'm the only one that shows up on Christmas Day, any holiday. I'm there. I give all my guys a day off.
And what do you got to do? You got to go water them or something?
Harvest.
Harvest.
So yeah.
Okay.
So we pick on average anywhere from 100 to 200 pounds of fresh product a day.
Wow.
So, and you have to pick it at the prime spot. You can't let it overgrow. So, you can now with the new facility, we can tweak the weather, so to speak, a little bit to, maybe bypass a day of picking if we really wanted to, drop the temperature, make them slow down a little bit. But even then, that's the hardest thing is it's an everyday grind. And so the only way to get to where we are today is to have staff. So we all share it a little bit. I take on more of it though. Well, on those days that everybody wants off, but
Beauty of being a business owner.
One of the cool things to counteract that is that just the response we get back from people, and the community, the support, local, even on the tourist level is, it's amazing. I still am like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this today, this much, this scale. But you just have people come up to you at the farmer's market and they're like, you have the most beautiful, best tasting, freshest mushrooms I've ever had in my life. I told my whole family, and it just spreads organically when it's like that, when you have great product like all of the farmers do. And it's so, like you said, you're so like passionate about it and you do something so well that it's infectious, naturally. And it grows your market organically and sucks people in. And that's what kind of keeps me going is like, okay, we are doing the right thing. We're doing this for a purpose. People are eating healthier, and also being educated about the product. So it's really cool.
What would you say like your farming superpower is? Like, is there something that you're just really good at?
Farming superpower?
Yeah, like is there like an intuition you have or just a talent in a certain aspect that you would say?
I would say being a visionary, being out in front. Always trying to, in sales. I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I love educating about what we do.
And you have a MacGyver factor in there too.
There's a lot going on behind the closed door.
You're kind of a multifaceted kind of guy.
It's kind of a
Lots
curse.
Lots of hats on the hat rack.
Yeah. But it's good. I don't know how to stop.
Yeah. So. What's your superpower, JT? Your farming superpower?
I'm going to go right back into that sales and education. It's not about, digging up weeds and pruning. I am pretty darn good at pruning. I really like using the chainsaw too. But no, I would say it's selling the product and getting people engaged. I mean, because it does, you've got to go beyond, growing. We don't have to pick every day. Thank goodness. One day a year is enough.
Yeah.
But it's getting people to want to know more and to want you to want to farm it.
Yeah, Gina, what about you? Your farming superpower?
Well, not to sound redundant, but I think the same thing.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn. There's so many hidden facts about all these products that we grow. And the best part is everybody wants to learn and they want to know. And they're interested in the better products and better for them and putting better things in and on their body. So being able to go out and sell it, what we are passionate about, and talk to people about it and educate them it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good when people want to know and they say, I love your products.
Yeah.
I want more.
Well, Lynette, it really kind of spotlights that, getting the word out and letting people know what's with and thank God these farmers are so into that and it drives them so much too, right?
Right. And that's really that's how Farmstead Ed was born. So Ed is the education and getting those people to the farm. When Farmstead Ed started, the farm to table movement was really up and coming with the restaurants, but people still didn't really know where was their food coming from. So, hey, let's spin it. Let's take the table to the farm and get them out there and, take the tours, do the workshops, create the meals from which the farms are growing and really, get their hands dirty and get them acquainted. That's the whole. I think a lot of times too, we take things for granted when we grow up or in agriculture, and so to see things for the first time through a guest's eyes, you experience it all over again and back to why we do what we do because of that excitement of seeing. Oh my gosh, the chicken laid an egg. Yeah, they do that, but it makes you pause. You take pause with that and say. Not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows that this food doesn't come from a grocery store. It actually starts in the dirt.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
I grew up in the suburbs and I never really had friends that did like 4-H or any of that stuff. And I come up here and go, oh, that's a real, a prevalent thing. But I feel like with Farmstead Ed and that education and with the farmers that are obviously very willing to kind of spread the word too, it really does kind of help bridge like, hey, here's why these farms and farmers are so important.
Right. Right. And the fact that we've got so many small farms and they're busy farming. And that was the cool thing that Farmstead Ed was able to bring, and then creating the SLO County Farm Trail, is raising water rises all ships, right? And so being able to not just promote one farm, but promote all the farms in SLO County, it really makes SLO Cal someplace really special.
Just give me some random other members, because we've put the spotlight on the ones in this room, but you have a lot of other members. People doing what?
We do. I mean, you've got Tally Farms, who are the magic mojo of CSA boxes, right? Which actually, come to think of it, you all are in their CSA boxes.
That's so cool.
So that's really cool, right? And then we've got, in South County, you've got City Farm SLO, which really, their lane is educating kiddos and special education down there. They do a great job at that. As I mentioned, we've got quite a few olive farms that are on. We've got new farms coming on, which is really cool, and especially with the whole egg thing. So we have MJ Family Farms in Creston, which we're really excited to have on board because they have layers. They've got ducks as well as chickens. Anybody that gets the opportunity to go out there, they've got all the mobile chicken tractors out there.
What can we do with them? What can we do? What kind of mushroom stuff can we do with them?
With the chickens?
With
I'm
eggs,
talking omelets, man.
Oh, eggs. Okay, there you go. Omelets all day.
Making sure we're thinking
Yeah.
Always got to be thinking.
And then they grow kuni pork, so we got bacon to go with the omelets, right?
Yeah.
And then they also do a little bit of Angus. So, so new farms coming on board, and they're fairly new to agriculture.
It's on board now too, right?
Shanley Farms.
Shanley's coming on board, and we've got Miller Moth Ranch, which is super cool. And I just learned, have an agritourism museum on their ranch.
What's the way to do this weekend, Lynette? Would it be like hit a few in a day, see if we can get 3 in a day?
It's kind of like wine tasting, right?
It is.
You pick
plan
4, pick your area, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and if you go on our website, there's a list of what each farm is doing that day. So it's a really great way to get an overview. So you can get that information online on the website at farmsteaded.com, and folks can figure it out. So you can, if you are passionate about your efficiency, you can probably do 4 or 5 farms in a day, depending on the area of the county. So we have some really great clusters that are close together, and then we've got some that are a little further apart. So, but lots of fun things that you can plan, from olive oil tasting and the goats. Oh my gosh, we have so many goats on the farms. More and more. So that's really fun. And the kids really enjoy the animals, the alpaca, all the things. I mean, it's going to be a fabulous weekend. And I'm really excited about the add-on tours and experiences people are doing. And this is really cool too, Adam, is that we were able to offer discounts on the tickets this year. We've lowered the ticket prices a bit. And that's all thanks to a USDA specialty crop grant that we received. And so we chose to lower the price so that more people can have the opportunity to go on open farm days, make it more of a family event. Kids under 12 are free. And we're just really excited to do this again this year, bigger and better.
I'll get all the links in the show notes so people can click through, learn about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, Gina, go ahead, please.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, of course.
There are a lot more on this year than there ever has been in years past. So again, circling back to the Friday night marketplace, it's a perfect spot to come and figure out where you're going ahead of time, see some extra farms there Friday night that you might not be able to get to, so you can get more bang for your buck for the weekend.
How many booths are going to be?
30. We have 30 booths in the park.
So you could come see 30 farms in like walking distance on the park, so that's a real good one-stop shop too.
Right. Yeah. Not all farms. We do have some, like Farm Bureau is going to be there. Travel
Cattle Women's are going to have their roping dummies out there. So we're going to have some fun
things
activities
to do. Yes, on top of it. And it's free to join on Friday night as well. You can walk through the park, have dinner in downtown and such. So
last year was amazing. We had such a great turnout on that park. Good. It was awesome. A lot of people came.
Mm-hmm. This year's just going to be even better. And we just keep growing each year, and it just keeps getting better and better.
Gina, what's the last thing you Googled for your farm? Like you Googled to learn about or search or buy something for? What was the last thing you Googled for your farm?
I love these questions.
So what I Googled for my farm. So I've been learning a lot about and doing more research into developing essential oil. And there's different ways to extract, different temperatures, different time we harvest.
And this we're talking like therapeutic versus this. Versus
Exactly.
that.
And so we've been really reading up on that. Different varieties are used for different things. Hydrosol is using for different things. So the last thing I was Googling was that extraction process and what that means for the therapeutic value coming out of essential oil.
What's in your Google search history? What for Groves on 41? What are you looking up?
Pruning shears.
Yeah. Will you drop a good amount on some sweet shears? Will you drop a few $100?
No, probably not that much because the wear and tear is insane and you're always cleaning your equipment and stuff. So not a couple $100, but yeah.
Do they have them? Don't they have like, was it Wi-Fi one time? They're like pressurized.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Electronic.
the pneumatic ones are amazing.
That's so sick.
So, and then of course looking forward to harvest in the fall, trying to figure out, how we can make that a little bit easier because we do have some hand harvested trees, but mostly mechanically harvested.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all equipment right now.
Besides psilocybin, what are you Googling?
More psilocybin. That's the other warehouse in the back.
Yeah, right.
Just off the top of my head, nothing too exciting, but I just Googled credit app because we are. I just made the first Mighty Cat Mushroom credit app for new customers. I know it's nothing too exciting, but it's kind of cool to make that and send it off to the Ava Hotel. Actually, they got the first credit app. So
Wow,
that's
nice.
cool.
That's awesome.
Pretty fun.
So, you're putting together, and I never think about that aspect of it, is like as more and more places, like not just restaurants, but you take the Ava, which probably has many different places.
Big restaurant groups.
Yeah. That, your line of catalog of customers is growing commercially.
Yeah. Immensely. It's cool. And like I said, it's the core of, SLO County. It's been pretty amazing. Most of the restaurants stay on. You have a few that go away and stuff, or chefs jump around. We call it the chef shuffle. But it's cool. Yeah. If a chef jumps around, they take our product if we're not already in that restaurant and then bring it on. And hopefully our mushrooms stay at the previous restaurant. So it's been a pretty cool cycle how that does work. And we're excited about the Paso Inn and Palmer coming to town.
Yes.
I mean, that's some huge news.
That's big news.
That's another story I could tell you guys.
When you hear something like that, do you go, I need to make sure that they have my mushrooms, or do you just know the call's going to come in, or what?
Yeah. It's kind of a long story, but I'll keep it short. That did happen. The previous chef was there. He called us and he's like, hey, I just got let go. And I'm like, oh my God, so unfortunate. And we have a great network of restaurants, obviously. So we'll put our feelers out there for any other restaurants that are looking for a chef. We hear it all the time. So it's kind of like a unseen, chef relocation program. But
You got a matchmaker thing going on too.
Yeah, it's kind of a chef matchmaker thing, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then I get a call like a couple days later from the new exec chef that's there. Had no idea, what was going on. Literally flew into town, relocated his whole family from DC, and was at my farm 2 hours after he landed and moved in. And he came to the farm, did a tour, and I was like, I hope this guy likes mushrooms. I hope he does. And he's like, dude, I love mushrooms. And so we hit it off. And didn't tell me much more than that. Put a 50-pound order in for the next week as the new chef there. And I was like, this is great. And then the article came out about Palmer. He called me back. He's like, yeah, I couldn't say anything. It was all confidential. And I was like, holy cow, dude, this is awesome for Paso.
Yeah.
Bringing that name into town. And, we get a lot of chef feedback on all kinds of stuff. And a lot of chefs were very happy about that because of what it's going to bring to Paso. How much money he's going to be investing into those two locations down off the park. So I think it's just a win for all of us. I mean, one comes in and another one, could bring more celebrity chefs into the town. That's just going to bring more tourism. Yeah. They do a lot of legwork to make that decision. I mean, it's a huge, substantial investment for a restaurant group to come in and of that stature and make that decision. So
if you could switch, and I'm going to ask all you guys, if you could switch with not just one person in this room, but anybody on the farm trail just for a day, maybe, or maybe a week, just a little, like Freaky Friday, like kind of Freaky Friday-ish. You get to be their farmer, or you get to be farming what they're doing for a week. Well, who would you choose?
I'd go honey.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd like to swap with Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sierra Honey Farm.
Gina, what about
That'd
you?
be fun.
I don't know. I think I kind of like to grow mushrooms.
Yeah.
Much like
That sounds
I enjoy the end product, but also just seeing the process.
what about you?
I'm heading to Giving Tree. I want to play with the animals. I don't get to play with animals on our farm, so I want to go play with the animals.
Lynette, what would you do if you could swap and be a farmer at one of your spots out there?
I would go down to Clearwater Color Nursery because I love growy things. I love the beautiful plants, and I cannot seem to keep them alive. So if I could be that farmer that did that, that would be an awesome thing.
That's so funny. Well, this has been so much fun. Lynette, give the lowdown on the dates again and, and run through one last time, just the whole dossier of this weekend.
Sure. So Open Farm Day weekend, and it's June 20 through 22. And we kick it off at the Paso Robles City Park, right near the gazebo. We'll have the Friday night marketplace from 5 to 8 p.m. And that'll be featuring about 30 vendors. You can come buy your tickets. You can check in ahead of time, be in the express lane. So that'll be awesome. And then the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we've got 30 farms that'll be open, swinging their gates. Some are open to the public during the year. Some aren't. So this is a great opportunity to get in on some of these farms that are very special and don't open all the time. And so you can plan your trip by going to farmsteaded.com, check the Open Farm Day tab, and you can see all the things that everybody's doing. There's a lot of happenings going on and a lot of great food to be eaten, a lot of cute animals to be hugged, and a lot of really great growy thing lessons to be learned.
We should play the farm game. Have you played the farm game?
Not in a while.
Well, let's play the farm game. We used to play the wine game. And I guess technically if you grow grapes, you could be in the farm game.
Yeah.
But we'll have to go around.
Oh, no.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
And you can't repeat one that's been done.
I love this game.
You can't repeat one. You can't say one. You can't pause longer than 3 seconds. And we'll just go around doing farms. So you'll have to share the mic.
Like the name of the farm or the product?
The name of the farm. And Jen, if you want to play, you can. No, you don't want to?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to.
It could be any
farm. Any Central Coast local farm. All right, so...
Oh, my gosh. This is rad.
Okay, I'll start. Mighty Cat Mushrooms.
Adelaide Botanical.
Sierra Honey Farm.
MJ Farms.
Hambly Farms.
Groves on 41.
Hartley Farms.
Aviator Farms.
Tally Farms.
DW Farms.
Is Life Elements a farm?
Sure.
Okay, Life Elements. Are they a farm? They're not really a farm? Okay.
They use locally grown to make locally made, right? So, yeah City Farm.
Okay.
My gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Did you guess time?
I'm like Highland Ridge.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay, so Chris is out. Okay, pass your mic to JT. Then
I totally got stage fright
All
there.
right.
Sorry about that, guys.
pass your mic to
Didn't mean let you
JT.
down.
All right.
Chris, there you go. Now, because you're out. Oh, you can't love it, cheat. Okay, put that down. Put that down, JT. That's horrible.
Okay, I'm putting the map down. Come on. What's going on here?
All right, here we go. Remember, we can do. All right, so Gina, we will start with.
Wait a minute, isn't it Jen's turn?
Oh, yeah,
It's
start with
Jen's
you.
turn.
Yeah,
it's
Jen.
just
Go.
Yeah.
Lazy Arrow, Kamada.
Good one.
San Miguel Olive Farm.
Lene Colono.
Oh,
I might
okay.
have to start with wineries.
Yeah, okay.
I might have to now. I don't know.
Ambeth Estate.
Hambly Farms.
Oh, no one said Hamley yet?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. So Gina's in.
No help from you.
Gina's in, Adams and Lynette's in.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm up, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Chaparral Gardens.
Alta Kalina.
MJ Family Farms.
Oh, so what's that already?
We already said that.
Okay.
I really love Miller Roth Ranch.
Okay, that's what I would say next. Miller Mouth Ranch.
Okay. Shanley Farms.
What do they do?
They grow avos
Okay.
and finger limes.
Okay, how
And
about
coffee.
A Bien Nacido. 2, 3. 3 seconds. All right, that was the farm game.
Adam won.
You got it on your screen over there, don't you? Okay. Nobody said tally either.
I know.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did? Oh,
We
good.
did say
Okay.
tally. Okay. Well, look, this has been so much fun. Who knew how the farm game would go? That was pretty exciting.
I'll be more prepared next.
Yeah, we need like Kramer Entertainment to bring out the whole like game show setup with the buzzers.
Oh my gosh, that would
should
be
do
great.
Farmly Feud.
Can we do that at the Friday night
that was with no
marketplace?
AI. You saw that was with no AI. That was my brain.
Seriously, can we do that at Family Market? Can we do that at Friday Night Market?
I think it's
Wait, I think we should have you do it.
Yeah, I gotta see if I'm there that day. I think I am around late June.
June 20.
Yeah, but what did I say?
Farmly Feud.
Yeah, Farmly Feud. Duh.
Oh my God, you guys, I love
Do you
that.
guys use AI for anything? What are you using AI for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All
let
day
me see.
long.
Give him the mic for a second. And then think about it next, Shady, because I'm going to ask you next.
I use it all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, I use it for like writing policies, procedures, ton of them, job descriptions. Like they help me get like a good baseline. You can tweak it, obviously.
Yeah, make it your
own. Some information I don't always trust on it, but it gives you kind of a start. But yeah, we use it. Actually have the service I pay for because I use it quite a bit.
GPT Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
What about you, JT? What do you using AI for anything in
I'm
your
not
life?
really using AI.
Yeah.
I probably should use it a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I'm so focused on getting the oil in the bottle and out to farmers market that
Yeah.
I'm not on the computer as much.
Yeah. Well, Gina, what about you?
I spend a lot of time on the computer, just product descriptions, even just polishing up my emails, just making it sound a little more professional, a little more polished, a little more.
Sure. Yeah, Lynette, what about you and all the other things that you're doing?
Yeah, I'll use AI every once in a while in a press release. I love to write, and I love to write about these amazing farms. But what AI does is kind of helps you get that baseline. It's you put the information in, and then I get to kind of put my creative touches and the DNA from Farmstead Ed in there. So
Yeah.
it does help. But honestly, in my mind, there's nothing as good as a good old-fashioned press release that's written from scratch.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Get you
Yeah.
past those roadblocks.
Yeah.
An hour later,
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, can I?
I mean, I got a guy, so not everybody has a guy, right?
I just actually articulate a little bit better too. I have a hard time with writing. That's not my forte, so it really
Yeah.
like, gets my point across a little
That's
better.
But
great.
you start out great. I mean, your foundation of your press releases are great.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, and it's fun to doll them up. I mean, it's a pleasure. So yeah.
Well, it was so much fun to have all you guys in here. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks
this
for
is
having
really
us,
fun.
Adam.
Yeah, give yourself a hand. This is great.
Woohoo!
Farmers. We love the farmers.
Thank you.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right, if this got you curious, there's no better time to plan your visit. Open Farm Day is happening this weekend, June 20th through 22nd. Full weekend of tour, taste, experiences, over 24 farms up close. All the info at farmsteaded.com. Links to all the guests in the show notes at your fingertips. Check it out. And Friday at the park downtown Paso, as we kick everything off, is going to be unbelievable. Don't miss Open Farm Days this weekend. All right, coming up, what a week. True Crime Tuesday. Got a lot of good feedback on True Crime Tuesday. Love that. And a really solid rest of the week in shows, too. So much love to our friends at Moonshiner Collective. Want to thank them for being a part of Up and Adam, original music on the show called Start Again. Find them at moonshinercollective.com. Stream them wherever you get your music. Want to thank our friends at Timbre Winery for the LoBro studios at Timbre. You can taste their wines in the village of Arroyo Grande. Incredible wines, incredible people, great from the top down. Love these folks. Timbre Winery, Tambre, winery.com. Thanks to you, my friend, for rating, reviewing, subscribing to this show wherever you listen to it. Sharing it with a friend helps a ton, helps others discover what we're doing here. So thank you in advance. Till tomorrow, I hope you have a great Monday. Gorgeous outside. Enjoy the beginning of your week, and thank you for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.